Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Shelter Insurance Agent in Aurora. See Grant Baker in Lockwood. See Sean Holman. The Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Laborers Local 663, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Great Southern Bank, Doak Propane, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. Continuing with our countrywide financial teams of the week, we welcome to the show Father Tolton head basketball coach Jeremy Osborne. Coach Osborne, thanks for your time today.
Hey, thanks for having us.
You bet, Coach. 21-8, and a brutal schedule. I'm looking at your schedule. Likes of CBC and Cardinal Ritter, Borgia, and then you get into a district that could be maybe a semifinals when you get the likes of Fatima and a very good Blair Oaks team. Kind of take us through that district challenge that you had before you got into the sectionals.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was definitely one of the most competitive districts in the state. And you also throw in Fulton and even Boonville and Southern Boone, who on any given night can compete with anybody. And so, with Fulton and having to play Fulton or Fatima and Blair Oaks, those two teams, man, they're extremely physical, very well coached. They are very, very good teams, and to be quite honest, either one of those teams could be sitting where we're sitting right now, playing on the final weekend of the season. So, blessed to be out of that district and represent Mid Missouri. But like I said, man, it was no fun while we were trying to prep and get through there. But glad that we did.
Take us back to that Blair Oaks game, 61-58 is the final score there. Kind of run us through the last few minutes of that game and how it all kind of played out.
Yeah, no, it was a game where we honestly we trailed most of the game, um, and Blair Oaks was pretty much dictating pace most of the night. Um, they were shooting the ball really well, made a couple adjustments defensively, and our guys stepped up and made some big time plays down the stretch on both ends. Man, we rebounded better in the second half. We were more active defensively in the second half, and when you do those things, when you defend and you rebound, man, it's funny how you start to make shots. So our guys stepped up and made some shots. Justin Boyer made a huge three to close out the third quarter to get it within 9. And then it was pretty much back and forth. We went on a little run, they went on a little run, and then down the stretch it was basically, a nip and tuck game.
Well, in that district, I'll be prepared you well for the sectional quarterfinal game coming up with Fairgrove and then Willow Springs. You win by an average of 28.5 points in those two contests. What are some things that Father Tolton is doing really well right now as a team?
Yeah, right now I think, and it's nothing different than what we've done most of the year. I think we're rebounding pretty well. I think we're defending fairly well. Offensively, we're getting to our spots. We're getting the ball inside, and obviously we struggled at the free throw line for about half the year, and so we're getting the ball inside. We're shooting the ball better from the line, and then obviously we're taking our time offensively and getting into uh, what we want to get into. And sometimes when you have a freshman point guard, it takes a little while. And he's learning that and has learned that. And he's having a phenomenal year. But he's really grown up and learned how to play the position. So really proud of him for that. And, I think it all starts with for us on the defensive end. If we're defending and rebounding, which we should be every night, because you can do both of those things every night. You may not shoot it well every night, but you can always defend and rebound it. So anytime you do that, you'll give yourself a good chance.
As you're heading into this contest with Pembroke Hill, what do you know about Pembroke Hill? I know there's a great history there with Pembroke Hill basketball. What do you know about this year's team?
Yeah, absolutely. Rich tradition of basketball over there. We saw them second game of the season for us. It was actually their first game of the year. Obviously, both teams have grown and changed tremendously since then, but they shoot it very well. They defend very well. They can play inside and out. And so we have to do a good job of handling their pressure on the defensive end, and we also have to do a good job of on our end defensively, making sure that we're getting a hand up, contesting everything, making everything a contested jump shot, and then finishing the possession with the rebound.
As you look back at your schedule, you've got Chaminade on your schedule. As you mentioned, on your schedule, you played Nixa. Uh, you've got a lot of teams on your schedule that are still playing here in the Class 4, 5, and 6. How well did that prepare you for what you're going to face with Pembroke Hill?
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of it. Anytime you play the schedule that we play, you hope that it pays off, pays dividends uh, towards the later parts of the season, and so far it has. Just being able to play those high quality of teams, you're not going to see a situation that you haven't seen already at this point playing those teams. So, hopefully our guys, and I believe that they're locked in. They understand um, what we've gone through so far to get to this point, and so playing those teams really does help. It really does help playing that level of competition, playing different styles of basketball, and still being able to stick true to what we do definitely helps.
Now, as you're going to take on Pembroke Hill tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Tell us a little bit about your travel plans. When do you arrive in Springfield, and what the itinerary look like?
Yeah, so we'll have our little send off tomorrow. We'll go to mass. We'll have our send off, and then we'll get down there around 2:30. We'll get a walkthrough in, head to the hotel, eat, and after that we'll go through scouting report again, have a brief little team meeting, head over to the gym, and watch the game prior to us, and hopefully get a win at 8 o'clock.
You bet, Coach. It's been a pleasure here to meet you. We will meet you in person. We are a host for Misha at this year's. Well, we've done it for the last 3 years. Um, well, barring some COVID issues, but
Oh yeah.
uh, that word has not raised its ugly head here so far this year, and we're looking forward to getting to see some of the teams. We had I'm sorry, South Iron was we hosted them last week and got to see a couple of real good basketball games, and they got a state championship. And so far, I think Misha has handled it wonderfully, and Missouri State does a tremendous job, and it's great facilities. And I don't know how often you've had the opportunity to play at JQH or Hammonds, but tremendous fan support.
Yeah, absolutely. We know they love their basketball down there, man, and so we're really excited. Haven't had the chance to play there before on the JQH floor, but we have played down there in the Springfield area. Played Republic in the past, and obviously Nixa this year. And we know they love their basketball down there. Great fans. They know the game, so we're really excited for the opportunity.
You bet. Coach Jeremy Osborne, Father Tolton, head basketball coach. Coach Osborne, thanks so much for your time. Safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you down here in Springfield.
Thanks, Guy. I appreciate it.
You're listening to and watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Keep it right here.